Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I am Rex.
I'm gonna get some glassware out, but these are gifts from the Titan of whiskey, Bob Fincutter.
Daniel in the distance. There's probably a gentleman named Bob Fincutter.
Yes, I've been over there a few times now.
So noisy, you can hear it from the
I
distance.
definitely remember someone of that name. Let's open these up.
Whenever something's so noisy, you can hear it from
The distance. How far away can you hear? You know, from the distance.
The distance, yeah. I don't know why that's funny. Yeah. Well, here, let me help you.
So this is State 38, which is, Colorado, the 38th state.
Okay. I know you. Okay. Yeah.
Golden, Colorado, which is also in the Denver area.
Yes.
That's the only information I have on these.
Oh, that's disappointing,
Period.
man, because we were talking recently about how Colorado, they set a really high bar.
And all their website info is just like tasting notes, but no info on what they are. So we have a straight wheat, straight bourbon, straight rye.
Okay.
We're going to do it in that order.
So
straight wheat,
bourbon,
straight
rye.
bourbon,
Right.
straight rye.
Mm-hmm. They don't have a distilled in, or is it distilled?
No, they made it.
Okay. All right.
It's definitely they made it. But I couldn't find out any, is there mash bill? What's their still
And
like?
then it's to the point now, you tell me something's coming out of Colorado, I immediately get excited, and my...
your bar is higher?
Yeah, my bar is high.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing
Which,
it. They're
if we
bringing
were
it.
doing limbo, would be a bad thing.
Oh, what?
Perfumey.
We're on the rye now. Is that no?
We're on the wheat.
On the
this
wheat.
is
Okay.
musty.
Yeah. Oh, I for a minute I thought it was rye because there's kind of an herbal character.
Yeah,
to
very
it.
herbal, very earthy, musty, almost mushroomy.
Yeah.
This to me is hinting at potpourri, funk.
Yeah. But
And
don't
that makes me think of the certain company of barrels that.
But don't let the word hint throw you, because this is a potent, saturated.
It's very dense.
Yeah, there's a lot of thickness in those flavors.
Okay, it's starting to soften now that it's
Breathe a little
evaporating
bit.
and breathing a little. It's a cherry scented potpourri mixed with a whole bunch of other things like wicker and earth.
So yeah, get the
and
wicker,
mulch.
and there's like a jammy. Could be, yeah, it could be. I was going to say it's more of like a cranberry fruitiness than a cherry fruitiness.
Colorado grains,
It's kind of a cranberry jamminess thing.
double pot stilled,
Ooh, the pot still though.
I think.
Okay.
It says double distilled,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming that's copper pot.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
They're proprietary yeast strain.
So the first approach to this nose, it was so dense, so concentrated, it was kind of like, whew, what's going on here? The more I go back to it,
yeah,
the more I'm getting okay with it.
that's a really low cut.
But it's not wet dog.
No,
It's
no,
not-
it's not faulty.
Yeah.
It's just they went
They dug
hefty.
deep into the flavors.
Yeah, even in the palate, it's weighty. What was that sound?
Oh,
Oh, like you started crackling like you're wearing cellophane.
I'm wearing Depends.
Are you wearing adult diapers? Yeah.
Crinkle.
It tastes like it smells. It's dense, oily,
There's a
kind of
sweet tart finish.
very candied and
No.
sour
It's
almost.
a Smarties powdered sugary sweetness on the finish.
Wow, they really went for like the weighty notes in that cut.
Which I generally like.
Don't know that I like it, but that's not because it's faulty.
No, it's not faulty.
It's just like that's the strongest, most drama laden wheat whiskey I think I've tried recently.
You said laden?
Like heavy.
But are you familiar with the Ludens? The flavored cough drops?
Yeah.
There's like I swear to you, the Ludens cherry flavored cough drop.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting the cherry, but it's...
That kind of medicinal.
Yes, that kind of medicinal, yeah.
All right, let's switch to the bourbon.
Yeah.
And the bourbon is, you know,
it's very clingy too.
bourbon.
It's still right there. It's definitely more of a classic bourbon.
But still,
Than the
it's
wheat whiskey.
got those deeper notes.
Yeah, the flavors are going to be what I expect coming out of a pot still.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more heft and weight and density.
Whoever's
Thickness.
making the cuts is making consistently, like they know where they want their tail cut to be, and it's pulling in some of those lower notes for sure. This is straight no age statement, which in theory means it's 4,
Okay.
at least 4. Because I don't
This
see,
is more of a cut grass and
yeah.
classic honey, smokiness. Yeah, cut grass, honey.
I still think, yeah,
smoky.
honey nut Cheerios. That we give that a lot these days with like the grainier, heftier.
Yeah, this feels more classically bourbon than this wheat
A little
whiskey.
toasty.
This wheat whiskey, this feels a little off axis from what I expect from a wheat whiskey.
Yeah, this is a little more craft bourbon.
Familiar flavors that you expect in most bourbons.
It drinks more cola forward, syrupy.
I like it.
Oh, it's almost ginger, like this little weird bitey note.
See, you get ginger. I was going to say brown sugar.
Yeah, I mean that's the sweetness, but there's a spice that's not quite pepper, not quite barrel char, not quite toasted, but it's this just little ring, and I don't know if I like it. Again, no faults, just I think he's just cutting lower than I would cut.
I found a little bit of like a second or third approach. Halfway through, almost getting towards the finish. A little bit of a nuttiness. Little nuttiness.
That's very dry. Okay, let's try the rye.
Okay.
I have a suspicion
Okay.
that the guy who's making these cuts,
Yeah.
it might really reward a rye. You might get a really weighty, hefty,
Yeah.
botanically
Sure.
nice rye.
Botanically.
But I don't like what it does to the bourbon of the wheat.
significant.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, no.
Oh man.
That is musty.
Wow. That is cut grass extract.
Yeah.
Yeah. With
Okay, that one I'm going to argue was too low.
overly steeped tea, cut grass, overly steeped tea.
Damn it.
It's got a little bit of a sugar in that overly steeped tea. But you know, you've evaporated out too much water. It's just getting thicker and thicker and more potent. And then there's a green apple. You know the dry, dehydrated green apples? Yeah, there's some of that in there.
That is
This is the most interesting.
funky.
In terms of,
Of course, you like the chaos that's happening.
the uniqueness, the novelty. I appreciate things that are different, off the beaten path. Very much so. I try and give that a little bit more elbow room. Go ahead.
Best palate of the 3.
Oh, okay, good. I haven't tasted yet.
Yeah,
But in
it's,
terms of, go ahead.
root beer.
Oh,
It's got all these weird,
All right,
like
all right, yeah.
small batch root beer
man.
things going on.
I'm just anticipating the taste because
A little waxy,
this is so interesting.
like
the
chewing
most
on those
interesting
root beer chew things.
Yeah.
Wax chews.
in terms of novelty, uniqueness. This one, then the wheat, then the bourbon. The bourbon is
That
familiar
nose
territory.
is really throwing me. I do not like it at all.
You know what I would on? I would want to pair this with fried Hatch green chili crisps.
Yeah, I could see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I was trying to figure out what I want to go back to drinking, and there's not one. You like that because it's so weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's not faulty.
No, yeah. Well,
No.
I would argue that this one is faulty.
No.
Yeah,
So that's
it's barrel aging faulty.
so the previous the Israeli whiskey M&H or something like that. That was not bad, competent, not faulty, but it's not blowing us away. I'm blown away not in just the enjoyment and deliciousness of this, just in how strange and unique it is.
Yeah, it's definitely an outlier in every direction.
Yeah. But you say you could argue that there could be some faultiness. You're saying they're
I
cutting
think
too
the
low?
barrel created the problems. I think the distilling is probably fine,
Mm-hmm.
although it's a little low, I think, and I think the barrel is accenting that.
And then eventually, oh, no. Dude, and then you eventually get into like a Werther's Original on the finish.
Super clingy sweet.
On the finish, it just
Yeah.
lands with a big, fat, juicy caramel out of nowhere. It's really interesting.
I'm not a fan.
I didn't expect you would be, but I will say this. Did they rise to the level that we've had from several other Colorado distillers?
No.
Yeah. I think if they're doing double pot still stuff and unique, interesting things, you're not afraid to go exploring. I'm not finding faults, but this is off the beaten path of your
Yeah.
preferred flavor
I'm
combinations.
finding only on the rye did I find where like, nope, I think that's too far.
No,
That's faulty.
See, that's so interesting to me because it's the potent flavor set.
Well, what's the definition of weed?
Weed?
Or weed.
Marijuana.
It's a plant where you don't want it.
Oh, they don't.
Not weed marijuana.
That's like-
yeah. No,
Yeah.
in gardening,
Man.
a weed is a plant where you don't want it to be. Right?
Because a lot of people want weed.
Right. But my point is that that's true with some faults. I mean, there are some faults that are outright wrong.
Right.
And then there's this gray area where it's like
banana.
this, where it's like this thing at the wrong percentage or
Yeah.
in the wrong product.
Yeah.
I would consider it a fault. But if somebody really loves that, they're going to be like, no, I did that on purpose.
Sure, like banana is a note.
Yeah.
Some distillers say no, that's a fault. Bubblegum's another note.
I think-
Some distillers consider a fault. Other distillers are right there with it.
If I was grading on the curve of I did it on purpose, being no faults,
Yeah.
then there's no faults. If I'm grading on the curve of I think they made a poor choice about what they cut, then I'm going to grade it as a fault. But that's judging. That's
Okay.
literally whiskey competitions.
Yeah,
this product is faulty. Based on what? This is what we were trying to do.
There is no getting away from the judge's preferences.
Right.
So it is kind of the luck of the draw in some cases.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be as fair as possible, but they're going to bring their own preferences to the occasion. So if you're just reaching for something,
Yeah.
you have these three bottles.
If I had to.
What are you reaching for?
Probably the bourbon.
Okay, just very familiar.
Because it's a little more simple.
Okay.
And the things that make these not simple are things I don't like.
All right.
So I'm gonna be like, no, just slow down. this
I
is
need a
not my
moment.
style, yeah.
I need a moment. Oh, Josh Matthews, I know you live for the opinions and validation of random bastards on YouTube. So I shall give my very expert opinion that is absolute fact and everybody else is invalid. Camera angle and lighting is good. Cheers, y'all. Cool. Thanks. I'm glad you like it.
I like they prefaced it with, now I understand
All right.
that you love this. Hey,
Yes.
people have brought up the little dot that's on the screen.
What
What is that?
It's a camera sensor.
Okay.
There's like dust on the sensor. So there was a batch of episodes in a shoot that had a little dust.
Yeah.
It's probably like right in here.
Yeah, it's right on your nose. Like literally right on your nose. It's
Cool.
a white circle.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think I've already edited past that batch.
Okay.
And I didn't notice it again. So
What do people say when they say dead pixel? What does a dead pixel
so
look
on,
like?
on TVs, sometimes you'll just have a pixel.
A square.
Yeah,
one little
that's
tiny
just
square.
like black or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, it looks like we got a dead pixel on these shoes, this is from ages ago, not recently.
Yeah.
I never understood what that meant, and I watch it and I'm like,
tiny-
I don't see what you're talking about, but I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little spot,
Okay.
little speck. We got Dan Christofferson. I've always sniffed everything before consuming. I've always also annoyed my wife.
Yeah. So what I wondered about that one
It's
was,
a hard habit to break, man.
how many of the things have you been trained to do in whiskey that make you an annoying drinking buddy or annoying spouse?
Yeah.
Right? Where it's just like things that are so normal for us, and then you get out with your normal civilian friends. Yeah.
They're not in the shit, man.
Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So, two things. One, I definitely would be in a restaurant and just like sniff my water, or
Just out of habit?
or just sniff my tea.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
holding it there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
At this
Like,
point-
this is a comfortable
Right.
resting point.
Just like nosing it, and then I realized like, oh, there's nothing really. And then also, I try to stop myself, But my wife will cook us dinner, and then she'll say, "How is it?" And I'll start giving notes.
Yeah, well, there's this little spicy thing on the
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
This is not that show, man.
No, we just need to know.
Yeah,
do
the
you want me
answer
to?
is great.
Do you want me to make this again someday?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not interested in this. Okay, I definitely had better whiskeys coming out of Colorado, but it was admittedly a very high bar. But this isn't, embarrassing itself. Yeah. It's just off the beaten path of what you prefer.
Yeah.
Classic, interesting, funky. Here's to fighting, stealing, and
If
drinking.
you fight me, I fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink,
May you drink with us.